This is an article I found on the Smithsonian.com website that I was going to use in my module Ethics of Animal Research in the 21st Century, but I instead decided to use it for my captioned video. This is a summary of the article, almost verbatim how it's written, but I had to edit it a little bit to fit into our time parameters. When Kat Nicholson, a trainer at Mote Marine Laboratory in Sarasota, Florida, wants Hugh, a 1,300-pound manatee, to swim toward her, she holds a white plastic target against the tank wall, and the animal glides immediately to it. When she wants Hugh to execute a barrel roll, she carefully traces a circle on its back with her finger, and the manatee rolls compliantly. When she needs him to lie on his back, she traces a straight line, and the manatee flips over, opening his mouth and waiting patiently for a treat of chopped apples and beets. You might not guess that the enormous creature was smart or perceptive enough to follow such commands, but manatees are surprisingly intelligent once they're properly motivated. This daily training reinforces Hugh's willingness to hold still for medical examination and participation in behavioral research that gauges his hearing and visual acuity. But as recently as just a decade ago, all manatees in captivity were routinely sedated or restrained for the simplest of diagnostic tests, and it was unthinkable to consider that they'd be able to follow through on any sort of instructions. For manatees and other animals at Mote, a new paradigm of animal research is starting to emerge. Researchers are discovering that some scientific questions can only be answered when they ask animals like Hugh to take part in their research. It's so much easier in the long run to work with an animal rather than fight it and force it to do things, says Joseph Gaspard, who heads Mote's manatee program. Every other facility for manatees has to drain the tank and restrain them with 10 to 15 people just to treat a little wound or take blood. This sort of transition is happening at research labs, zoos, aquariums, and other facilities around the country. At Gregory Burns' lab at Emory University, dogs have been trained to stay still inside an fMRI machine. Burns and other researchers are interested in learning about dogs' neurological architecture, and sedating or restraining them for imaging studies would ruin the data, producing an image of a tranquilized or stressed dog's brain rather than a normal one. He and others have gradually trained amenable pets to tolerate the noise and motion of an fMRI machine for up to 30 seconds at a time. Now they've produced novel data about the canine brain's reward system and how they respond to human interactions. But Mote, which mostly houses injured animals that can't be released into the wild, is one of just a few research facilities using this sort of training towards scientific ends. Because no one had ever tried to train manatees before, Gaspard says, quote, "We basically had to start from scratch." He and colleagues figured out that the best way to entice their resident manatees into following instructions was to supplement their vegetable-heavy diet of about 72 heads of lettuce with rewards of chopped apples, carrots, and beets when they did something correctly. The researchers issued these instructions by drawing with their fingers on the manatee's skin because touch seems to be the creature's most acute sense. This training makes necessary veterinarian tasks like taking blood, cleaning wounds, and conducting physical exams much less stressful for the animals. It also gives them something that many animals in captivity sorely lack. Gaspard says, "It's a form of stimulation. They're thinking, they're getting tested, and they're being challenged."